we've got some interesting email questions that we want to answer today as we bring it on. Pat, this first one comes from Cindy, who says, the question that's been on my mind is, if God made the heavens and the earth, where do dinosaurs come in? They don't mention this in the Bible. And what about cavemen?
In the sixth day, God created cavemen. All right. Dinosaurs. Apparently the earth, when it was in the early formative stages, was quite lush, quite warm, and there was a profusion of plants and vegetation. And these creatures just grew because there was nothing to hold them back. They grew enormously, and they flourished. There was an asteroid about 65 million years ago that hit down the Yucatan. It was so big that apparently it was what you call an extinctor, and it, from all indications, wiped out the dinosaurs. And what came out of that was these little creatures that were living underground, little mammals, and they came out and they began to propagate and, you know, fill the earth. The Bible talks about sea creatures, creatures on the earth, and it doesn't say dinosaurs specifically. As far as cavemen, I think there were, well, God created a race of man, but they can descend into bestiality pretty quick. You look what happened to the Roman Empire. It was highly sophisticated. And then through the Dark Ages, most of the sophistication and the scientific knowledge of the Romans was lost, and they went back into a rather primitive environment. The Bible focuses primarily on about the last 10,000 years of human existence on Earth. And I think some of those mysteries I haven't got time to go into now, and I don't know if I have the answers. I tried, but did God create people in His own image that were superior to others? I don't know, but I think you look back in 10,000 years, human history, civilization as we know it, whether it was the Assyrian, whether it was Sumer, whether it was the Chaldean, whether it was the Egyptian, all those civilizations are, you know, basically 10, 15,000 years ago. We found some as high as 50 years, 50,000, but I think the major civilizations and man as we know him now was in that time frame. But I don't know all the other, and I just can't go into discussion of anthropology because I'd be faltering around doing it. But the Bible is focusing in on Adam, and his progeny, and that's, if you go back in time, that's about where it looks like. But the rest of it, I believe in the Big Bang. I think that the idea that, you know, the universe had an origin, and I think God created it and made it happen, but it's a lot older than any 6,000 years.
Yeah, this is Desiree, who says, my mom and I fight a lot, and I don't like it, but it's about the only way we can communicate. I seem to get in trouble a lot, but I don't want to bring much trouble on her. She just gave birth, and it's going to be hard. What should I do?
Well, you start by keeping your mouth shut. That's what you do. And you stop sassing your mother back, and you start honoring her. The Bible says, honor your mother and father. That means give weight to their decisions. Now your mother's got a pregnancy, and she's getting ready to give birth, and she's in a tremendous, her body's under all kinds of stress, and you're adding to it as a rebellious kid. Listen, submit yourself under the discipline of the Lord and do what the Bible says, and that your days may be long on the earth the Lord gives you. Honor your mother and father. Honor your mother and stop arguing with her. All right.
Okay, Pat, this is Varda, who wants to know if you think the Ebola virus could be one of the seals mentioned in Revelation 6.
We've had a lot of, you know, the flu epidemic that took place around World War I was vastly more toxic than this thing. There have been other diseases, you know, avian flu and so forth. Ebola, if it's contained, as I say, I was over in Africa when the first thing broke out a few years ago, and it was contained. It wasn't all that big a deal. So I don't think it's some plague in Revelation. Well, we leave you with today's Power Minute from Matthew 21. And whatever things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.